good with me?
Now look, that whole bottle will last you for 5 years, all right?
Okay, 5 months. Got it.
No. Did you hear what I just said? 5
days.
I didn't.
This will be used very irresponsibly. Thank you.
Young lady.
That was a scene from Road Trip. And one of the people in that scene is one of the funniest people, naturally funniest people in the business. Man, if I could do the rundown real quick of some of the platforms you've seen him on. Every time he comes here, I got to do this. You remember next Friday, Friday after next, The Hangover, How High, All About the Benjamins, which I saw recently, and it's so funny to watch that movie today. Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and I knew that this man was making big strides, and I knew that we all made it as a collective when we co-starred in the movie with Bruce Willis called Death Wish. Mike Epps.
When we did.
We co-starred. Mike, don't do that, man.
We both had 5 minutes together.
But man,
Put your 2.5 minutes, my 2.5. We in the movie together.
Man, we killed that movie, baby. It was number 3 in the box office that week.
Now.
You know, the Bohemian was number 1. That Black Panther would be number 1 for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence, who's, Hollywood's.
Yeah.
And then us, Mike.
Our 5 minutes of fame together.
Oh, man, we killed it, man.
did, man.
Welcome back to the show, dude.
Oh, thank you, man.
Mike, you're an author now.
A little bit. Is that what they call it? If you write a book, you're an author?
Yes, own that.
Unsuccessful Thug. And when I first heard the title, and I was telling somebody, Mike Epps got a book called Unsuccessful Thug. That's like, he's a comedian. Why? What kind of thug is he? There's a lot about you and your upbringing and how you grew up that people will find out in this book, but they still don't know. Why did you title it that?
Well, I titled it that way because I tried it.
Right.
And I wasn't good at it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I really I'm glad that I had enough heart to admit to that. Instead of lying and trying to make somebody think that I was something that I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wanted kids to read that of how scared I was. And how I almost screwed my whole life up trying to be something that I wasn't. And that was the purpose of me writing the book was it's a redemption book, man, and showing kids that nobody's successful at it. And in the process of me trying to do something that wasn't me, I found my gift.
You found your gift.
Yeah.
So were you the type of funny guy in the hood that needed to tell jokes so he wouldn't get his ass whipped, or were you really trying?
Nah, I ain't no punk. You know what I mean? I ain't never been no punk. I got 7 brothers.
Yeah.
And 100 cousins. And I've always if it was somebody that I was afraid of, I knew how to set them up with somebody that they was afraid of. I've been doing that since I was 5. You know what I mean? 5.
5. Man, you had to set people up at 5.
I had a brother that would bully me, and I'd go get the other brother he was scared of and tear his ass up. You know what I mean? So,
very smart.
So I'm the same way, even in the streets now. And I got somebody for everybody. Except the government. Them the only ones I can't get nobody on. I have to pray on them.
The government and the internet are both undefeated.
They undefeated.
They undefeated, man. DB.
Hey, Mike, you've been on the show a couple times, but I never got to ask you about this. You starred in Vin Diesel's directorial debut, Strays, back in 1997.
Yeah.
How did you two connect?
Vin Diesel was shooting a movie in the Village, and I seen a crowd of people, and it was all over. I didn't know what was going on. I walked up and was cracking jokes with the people that was standing there, and the security kept coming over there saying, "Y'all got to hold the noise down and calm down, and quiet it down." And Vin Diesel walked over there and asked me what's going on. Asked everybody what was going on. He said, "The funny guy, right? He's making." So I guess he took a liking to me and asked me, could I act? I'm like, yeah, I can act. I can do a little something. So I ended up auditioning for him, and he put me in that movie. I didn't know he was going to be a big star. If I would have known that, if I would have knew Vin Diesel would have been a big star, I wouldn't have been pressing him for money like that. I was on his ass. Do you hear me? Every day. His friends, I was on there. He had a friend named, his name was John Claude, and he was doing his business for him.
Yeah.
And he really wasn't a tough dude, but every time I got his ass away from Vin Diesel, I would say, y'all better give me some fucking money for doing this, bro. I think to this day, Vin Diesel is mad at me for that shit. He was like, that little motherfucker asked me for money every day, and I told him I didn't have no money for him. But, you know, I needed money, shit, so.
Tracy, go ahead.
Okay, so a key element I think that's always been spoken about when it comes to changing your life, really sustaining a path on the straight and narrow, is switching up your environment. Was it difficult for you to cut ties with any friends who were still on this path of trying to become a successful thug?
It was. And, you know, that's why I made that disclaimer in that book. Because some of them niggas are still riding around here. You know what I mean?
Wait, what the disclaimer say? Tell what the disclaimer say.
If anybody's reading this shit, it ain't you I'm talking about. It's a bunch of Jeffs in this city. So I couldn't say them niggas nicknames because there's only one nickname of them niggas in the city. But yeah, man, you know, it's a book it's a book. I wrote the book so that because there's a lot of people promoting kids education, which is great. They promote kids to go get the education, but there's not a voice out there to promote to the kids that school just might not be for you, and there is a second chance for you just because you got in trouble as a kid. There's a second chance for you, and I'm a perfect example of that. I just graduated from high school 2 years ago. I went back and got my high school diploma.
Nice.
And now I'm writing a book. What kind of shit is this?
Yeah, man. That's great. Man, wow, this is Unsuccessful Thug is the name of the book. Mike Epps is here. It got a lot of, I want to say, racial political terms, undercurrent in this book. You know, you talk about navigating through Hollywood, and even as a comedian, you weren't always comfortable at the white clubs. Right. What does that mean? Break that. When you they didn't like your humor, or what was that about?
I think I've always felt a way about performing and being around white people. You know. I just have always felt like when I'm around white people, I've always felt like they were going to tell on me for something, or I was going to get in trouble around them. And I always felt like they were looking at me like that I did something. Even if I didn't do nothing, I just felt like I was going to get in trouble around white people. Like I had to get reserved and be quiet around them because they was going to tell on me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I've always felt like white people would tell on your ass. And they will.
Set you up.
Set your ass clean up. And until I start getting told on and set up by black people. And then I said, guess what? They all do it. You know. Yeah. But I grew up in Indianapolis. And if anybody knows anything about Indianapolis, it's the home of the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah. And we were we were taken from the ghetto and bused to white schools so that they could integrate the students. Well, they didn't understand what that was. And when we went into them schools, man, we went in there as ghetto kids, and we wasn't treated right in the hallways and the lunchrooms and on the bus, out there where the buses were, and shit would go down. And the administration and the teachers and the principals, first thing they thought was, hey, this little guy right here been to juvenile center 3 times. My son ain't never been in trouble. He did it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Did you see what he did in the hallway? Or did you see the moves that he did to make me do that? And that's what happened, you know. And once I got to Hollywood, they just didn't understand it. They like, damn, is he racist? Is he this? Is he that? And I'm like, no, I'm not racist, but I did grow up in middle of America, Indiana, segregated, racist as hell, and I used to think that I was prejudiced. I used to think that I was prejudiced. I used to say, man, I don't like white people. I went through a Nation of Islam phase in my life, and one day my grandmother, because she liked white people, if a door knocked and a white man was at the door, she's like, "It's a white man at the door." You know what I mean? That's how the old folks was with white people.
And they whispered it.
They did. They silly as hell. It's a white man at the door.
People still do that now. If you say a white person, they go, "Yo, it's a white guy." Don't they do that, Mike?
They do. Okay. And then my grandmother said, "I'm sick of this shit." She showed me a picture. And it was a white man on the railroad. She said, "That's your great grandfather right there." I said, "Oh shit!" I look just like you too. He just stands there. I said, "This is some bullshit right here." So I realized. I said, "You know what? It ain't the skin color. It's strictly on being a great person and who people are, man. Because I found that there's some bad." Every color, and every color is some bad people in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Epps is here, man. We're going to go to these phone lines real quick. 888-742-3345. We got, let's get Ingrid's on the line from Detroit. What up, Ingrid?
Ingrid.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Great. We got Mike Epps in there. Ingrid!
What's up? How you doing this morning?
What up, though? Where you on 7 Mile, 8 Mile? Where you at?
Hey, I'm off 7 Mile. I'm by St. John's Hospital. I'm actually at the edge of Grosse Point.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly where that's at. I used to live on East Chalmers.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I grew up over there, Promenade and Chalmers.
Yeah.
Damn. You better get to that question, though, Ingrid.
I know. Okay, well, Mike Epps, I just have a comment based on what you said about children who may not be ready for school. I am a millwright by trade. I build conveyor and turbine. And just like myself, I wasn't like college ready. And so I mentor a lot of young people who not really college ready or not interested in going to college. So I encourage them to maybe try to trade, because for me, it saved my life. I did 4 years in the penitentiary, and I got out without a direction.
That's right.
So, someone approached me and said, "Hey, you like residential carpentry, why don't you try the millwright?" And I loved it. I love what I do. I'm on the Sisters in the Brotherhood movement. And so I encourage people to try it. Just go to the trades. At least you work and go to school at the same time, and you're making money.
Ain't that something?
And I just wanted to tell you, because you come to Detroit a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, a movement like that interests me. And if there is ever a time that you want to put something like that together and just become a leader for some of our children, I'd like to get on board with that.
No doubt.
And I also like to just give you guys a link to check out so that you can see what kind of things that I do.
Go for it.
If you go on YouTube and just Google my name, Millwright Ingrid Young, and Millwright is spelled MILLWRIGHT, and my name is Ingrid Young, INGRID Young. Okay. And I have 2 videos on there. One in particular is a Goodwill Industries video that I did, that I show at every educational event, every career fair that I do. Just to encourage people that just because you've done time in prison, you can still come out and be a productive citizen.
Okay, write your book too, Ingrid.
I will. I'm working on it.
All right, you're a citizen.
Thanks, Ingrid.
You're a citizen.
Yes.
Let me get one last call. G from Texas. Go ahead, G. What you want to say? G. Big G.
Hey, Mike?
What's up, man?
Wait, what up, everybody?
What's poppin'?
Hey,
What kind of drink you got in your cup? Go ahead.
that purple stuff.
Oh, boy, you watch out.
Nah, I just want to say keep it up, man. I ran into you at the airport in LAX probably back in 2006. I was in the Army. I was on a flight to Korea. And I don't know, you disappeared somewhere at the front of the line. But anyways, I just want to say keep it up.
Okay.
We like you. We love everything you're doing. We just can't like you too much or the white folks going to take you, like Paul Mooney said, all right?
Yeah.
Keep up.
You ain't got to worry about over here, buddy.
Yeah, he's white too. You hear about his great grandfather?
We all got some up the way. There was a slave master somewhere up the way that kind of,
All right, G.
Man.
Going in taking a dip there. All right, hey, G. Thanks for your service, man. Thanks for your service. Hey, Mike, I'm always proud and inspired by you, man.
Thank you, man.
DB had you brought up a point. We did play. I did want to say I loved you in Betsy, even though that wasn't the clip we played, because we got a chance to see your acting in a multi-layered way. You know, it wasn't comedy. You know, you played a serious role. What Latifah was in it, Monique was in it. That's right. Was that a statement role for you, or you was just taking a role?
No, I've been sprinkling the business with serious acting roles for a long time.
Yeah.
I did a movie called Sparkle with Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I did a movie called Talk to Me with Don Cheadle.
You did Richard Pryor and Nina?
Yeah, I did Richard Pryor and Nina. I've been doing a lot of dramatic acting roles. They just don't surface like that because I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a guy that wears it on my sleeve, but I've been doing acting roles for, serious acting roles for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do great at it, Mike. Mike
Thanks,
Epps,
man.
ladies and gentlemen.
I appreciate it.
Man, okay, so Mike is performing.
Madison Square Garden, Saturday, March 31st. He's got 2 shows, 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m.
Big time.
Wait, hold up. He performing where?
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Matter of fact, last time I saw you live was at the Garden, I believe.
Yeah, well, let's not make no mistakes. It's that little bitty room they got in the back.
It's still the Garden, Mike. Come on, man. I didn't have to hear that part. All right, Mike Epps, man. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you, sir. Much love to you, man.
Always love, family. We want to thank Geraldo Rivera for coming by, too, and get his new book as well, The Geraldo Show. And then we want to thank Cypher Sounds for coming through.
Word up.
Make sure you check out his new show, Laugh Tracks, on True TV every Wednesday night.
11 p.m.
Okay, and then what we got on tomorrow's show?
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Mike. Hey, you got a question for Ray J? You can ask him anything. We'll record it and play it back.
Ray J, have you washed your hands since? Ain't no telling what that means. He's been working on his car when I seen him last.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.